My name is Dr. Adam Thorns, and I have the honor of serving as Superintendent of Chicago Ridge School District 127.5. I'm joined today with School Board President Nancy Sulzer, and we'd like to take a few minutes to talk about the district's strategic plan. In 2015, Chicago Ridge School District set up a long-range strategic plan that evaluated where the district was, as well as set goals for the future. Each year, the district and its partners reflect on the progress that has been made.
Okay, I'm Nancy Sulzer, School Board President, and 4.5 years ago, members of the staff, the community collaborated to assist the board with goal setting in the following areas: curriculum and instruction, culture, climate, and public relations, finance, facilities, and technology. Unfortunately, we weren't able to meet this year to catch up on everything that was going on due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and our Board of Education and District Administration believes it's crucial that we keep the community up to date on what has been going on in these areas.
Throughout this process, the administration has presented an action plan to tackle the goals. Constant feedback and guidance from our strategic planning partners has been essential in the planning and the providing of the action plan from year to year. During this video, our administration will discuss the district's progress in each of the 5 areas that Nancy laid out. At the July 2020 board meeting, I will provide a summary of the district's strategic plan and the progress that we have made towards those goals, as well as an initial draft of the 2021 school year action plan.
Hi there, I'm Fran Sotaro, Building Principal of Ridgelawn School, and I am one of the representatives of the Facility Planning Committee for the Strategic Plan. We'd like to go over the 3 goals that we have for our Facilities Committee that we've been working on all school year. Our first goal is working to upgrade our safety and building security procedures, both inside and outside the building. With that, we've been working with the Chicago Ridge Police Department and the Chicago Ridge Fire Department over the course of the year. This year, we've had a couple different meetings. Our first one was our pandemic planning meeting. That was back in March, and upcoming, we have our annual safety planning meeting. Along with this committee, some of the things we're looking at is making sure that our buildings are secure for our students and our staff. Over the course of this summer, we will be upgrading each building's office for the schools as well as the district office to ensure that we have a secure front office, which will have a swipe card and buzzer system that will gain access to the remainder of the building. Over the summer, we are also planning on updating our fire alarm panels for each building to bring us up to current standards. So those are some very exciting things that we've been working on over the course of the year. For our second goal, we are looking at our long-term plans for our building maintenance and improvements. Our architectural firm, Studio GC, has completed a 50-year plan, and over the course of the past year, they've refreshed this plan so that way we can plan on our projects moving forward. As we mentioned, some of the projects that we are looking at are the secure entrances for each and every building, the fire panels that will be upgraded in each building so that way we are current, and last but not least, some smaller projects that are going to be going on at Ridge Lawn and Ridge Central over the space of the summer is constructing some areas for our new math coaches. So Wes Smith, our maintenance engineer, will be responsible for those projects. As we plan for next year, we'll be looking at the 50-year refresh program to see what will be our next steps for building enhancements and updates. Our final area that we're working on is equipping our classrooms, our district, with a new safety plan. In conjunction with the Chicago Ridge Police Department, Oak Lawn Police Department, and Chicago Ridge Fire Department, we will be having our upcoming safety meeting to review our draft plan of our safety procedures. Once our draft plan is updated and approved, it will be bound and available for all of our staff members so that way they have current scenarios as well as current procedures and protocols for what we need to do in the event of any type of threat against our buildings or any safety concerns that we have. Our facilities plan will continue to look at our goals and look forward to the future to update these goals, so that way we can ensure that our facilities are as up to date as possible for our students, our staff, and our community. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan Knopfnagel, principal of Ridge Central School.
And I'm Julie Bazian, the assistant principal at Findlay Junior High. And we made up the curriculum team. And our first goal was to maintain a focus on critical thinking, problem solving, and oral written communication, and a challenging and Common Core aligned curriculum. Our action plan is to continue our annual schedule for professional development that will provide teachers with the skills that they need in order to do this.
Our second goal is a continuation of the goal from the previous years as well, which is create a model of differentiated instruction based on high expectations that align with an outcomes-based evaluation model. And so we will continue the implementation of the teacher evaluation plan that was created in 2015. We will make sure that it incorporates professional practice and student growth, and the joint committee will continue to meet annually to review the plan and all that it entails to make sure that we're compliant with the Illinois law.
And our third goal is a little bit adjusted based on the COVID situation. We had to kind of change things because we weren't really on time. So our by the end of the 2020-21 school year, teachers will have the capacity to develop assessments in order to reflect mastery on grade level standards. The district will continue to build a guaranteed viable curriculum. Our teachers will receive professional development on how to develop these assessments, especially during our early dismissal days, teacher institute days, and team plans. And the administration will continue to provide professional development resources and support for those teachers.
And we have two parts for our curriculum adoption schedule that has been adjusted due to recent situations with COVID. So you'll see the 2019-2020, which was this past year, and then next year the big steps towards curriculum adoption will be in the area of social studies. We'll develop a textbook adoption committee for social studies, and we will start looking at different resources and curriculums that the team can then pilot for the 2021-2022 school year in hopes for a possible recommendation for the following year for adoption. And then math, our current year, 2021, upcoming in the fall, our junior high teachers will implement their new math resource, and our elementary buildings will implement the number corner bridges resource that has been adopted to support number sense at the elementary level. And our elementary teachers will continue to pilot math resources for the possible adoption at the end of this 2021 school year, and then adoption for that new year of with implementation for 21-22.
And then the last slide is our specials, digital learning, our partnership for resilience, and we are on track with our adoption process there. We're going to continue to work with the partnership and Discovery Ed throughout this year and then the following year. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kathy Picciolini, business manager with the school district, and I'm with Demetra Georgianis, assistant principal at Ridge Central Elementary School, and we are part of the finance team. And so I'd like to talk about one of the goals of the finance team was to maintain a healthy and transparent fund balances to provide financial stability to the school district in accordance with board policy. In order to accomplish this goal, the district presented and followed an annual budget for each year during the strategic plan, in which expenditures would be less than revenues, resulting in increases in fund balances. The district continued to monitor both internal and external factors that would impact funding resources and expenditures. Throughout the duration of the strategic plan, The district's fund balances have continued to grow and have resulted in an even stronger financial position for the district.
Our second goal was by February 2020, we would hold the next superintendent's finance and facility meeting, and we were able to accomplish that actually in January of 2020. The purpose of this committee is to provide feedback and input to the Board of Education as it monitors, evaluates, and plans for financial and facilities decisions. Some of the issues that were discussed were space issues, both in the classroom and for specialists. Enhancing technology in the classroom. Facility needs were brought up and discussed at great lengths about how we can secure the front entrances and fire alarm and upgrades, which actually will be taking place over the summer, and the ongoing conversation of learning spaces and how we can maximize on those opportunities. Our third goal was to successfully forecast and implement an equitable solution to the Illinois minimum wage law. On February 19, 2019, the state enacted the Illinois minimum wage law. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed Senate Bill 1, which increases the minimum wage in Illinois to $15 per hour by 2025. Under this new law, the minimum wage will increase to $10 on July 1st, 2020. After that, the rate increases every January 1st by $1 until it reaches $15 in 2025. The Board of Education has approved necessary increases for any employees that would not be at that $10 rate on July 1st. Annually, the Board of Education will continue to approve the increases in hourly wages and starting salaries to be in compliance with the minimum wage law. As those starting salaries are increased, it will allow the district to be more competitive in hiring qualified individuals. Our focus will be to maintain the equitable balance between classifications of all staff while maintaining a solid financial position. The district will utilize outside resources, which may include financial and statistical data. Some of the options we are looking to explore include reaching out to neighboring districts, along with using financial software available to us.
A final goal of the finance team was to advocate for a successful referendum to refinance bonds in 2021. The first step was to determine the financial needs of the district, and to do this, the district contracted with district architect Studio GC to reassess the existing facilities and current building conditions, as well as looking into the life expectancy of the various components of our buildings. And the focus on this was to look at the next 5 to 10 years. The Board of Education held a workshop session in March in which Studio GC and the Board of Education provided feedback. The district, led by the Board of Education, has also been working with PMA Securities to explore various financial options available to us. The district is currently in the process of issuing $5 million in working cash bonds to finance the long-term facility needs and school improvements. In addition to the $5 million in working cash bonds, the district is planning on utilizing approximately $4.8 million in fund balances to contribute to the project. After careful consideration, the board feels this combination of issuing working cash bonds and using district funds will provide the district with the financial resources necessary to move forward in addressing any needs of the district.
All right. We're here today to talk about our end of the year results of our strategic plan. We're representing the Climate, Culture, and Public Relations group. And the first goal that we're going to talk about is our culture of transparency, community outreach to our stakeholders. And Cora's going to talk about the first aspect of that goal.
So some of the community events that we held were the Family Fun Night, where we were able to have local business donors, and we continued the partnership with the Chicago Ridge Library, and another event was the mobile caravan.
The next point, we had considered doing a cultural committee, And then we also talked about doing a public relations committee. Those didn't form this year, but we did establish our task force for planning for the 2020 and 2021 school year. So really what we envision is that there's going to be aspects of this work embedded in that planning. And so we're going to be looking at, as a piece of it, technology that we can use to better communicate with our bilingual families. Talking points is one of the things we've explored as a technological piece that can help us with that.
Okay, and so how we celebrated the 50th class of Findlay Junior High, it wasn't how we anticipated, yet it was very, very memorable. We planted graduation signs and lawn, conducted staff appreciation activities, and really truly supported one another from afar, and just celebrated virtually in other ways.
The next goal really focuses on, again, more of that communication with our community. What has been great this year is a couple of the schools established Facebook pages, Ridge Central and Findlay did, and they've used those really nicely to share out about some of the events that we were able to have, like our end of the year parades. They posted the graduation virtual ceremony that they filmed on there. And we were able to acknowledge some of our junior high athletes for their accomplishments this year, as well as those students that had perfect attendance.
So those online virtual events and celebratory videos, an example is Ridge Long created their their retirees from the buildings and took their end of the year montage online. Also want to highlight Ms. Enskat's virtual art show, which revealed the tremendous talent and remarkable artistic effort of our students.
All right, and another great resource we have is our school district website. We're hoping to use it to further enhance our ability to communicate with the community, different resources, things that are available for them. I know right now we have on there the coronavirus question and answer. So some of those great things that people need to know, we're able to help with communicating that out. Our social support team, our psychologists, social workers, and counselors did a lot of work with the remote planning at the end of the school year. One of the pieces that they worked on was coming up with a list. They call it a parent community resource guide, and I'm hoping that we can throw that up on there. And what it really contains is things that our families in need might need right now. There's different food pantries in the area. There's links to places if folks are having struggles with their housing right now, places for financial assistance for that. So it's another great resources for community counseling agencies that are available to help, that are open and taking folks right now. So we're hoping to utilize that platform to help share out those things that people need.
Hi, my name is Gino Fricano, and I am the IT Services Facilitator for the school district, and I'm going to be going over the network infrastructure part for technology. I'm going to start with servers. So last summer break, we actually upgraded our servers. We actually have 2 servers. The one server is over here by the district, Findlay and Ridge Central, and the other server is over at Ridge Lawn. And the reason why we have that type of setup for is it's a mirrored redundancy. So in the event that either server should either go down or fail, the other one will pick up pretty much seamless, noticeable of any disruptions. So also with those servers too as well, they handle our printing. So we have a print server, file server, so our teaching and staff internally, they could actually store files on network folders, on our network drives, and share amongst each other throughout the internal network. As well as we have a image server, which for our techs, so we could build an image, like a Windows image, if need be, and if we ever wanted to, say, refresh a laptop or desktop, we're able to do that through the network, which is a lot easier to do for us. Also for our wireless network, we have a wireless access point in each classroom, each office, gym, multi-purpose room, teacher lounge, which for each wireless access point that we have, they facilitate up to 83 devices. So technically we could actually be in a 2-to-1 environment if we ever wanted to, if we wanted that growth for whatever reason be. It's pretty robust. Our other network appliances internally, such as our network, our switches and our routers are up to date. And so those just ensure that our network's a little bit more functional, and it's a more robust flow of data through our internal network. This summer too, also, we are going to upgrade our firewall, because our current firewall is end of life, and by that, end of life is if anything should go wrong with the machine or a part of it, the manufacturer of that appliance will not replace it or any part that should go wrong. So that's why we're replacing something out of the end of life cycle for that appliance. So that's it for our network infrastructure. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Youngberg. I am the principal at Findlay Junior High School. I am a part of the technology team here for the strategic plan. I will be speaking a little bit about devices and what we've done throughout the strategic planning. First and foremost, one of the biggest areas that we have increased is our device numbers. We started with computer labs of roughly 30 devices, and now we have well over 400 devices per school that are available for students, and that just has really helped us out with changing the way we do things, giving students technology and access to the internet whenever they would need it. And it also allows us the ease of assessing our students and obviously being able to do things like the state assessment, which is now all online. Those are major increases that we have had. With that, we've also developed a number of partnerships through Single Path and FLC that have helped us with managing the number of devices that we have, and has also given us professional development on helping our teachers and staff grow in the area of technology and different platforms and applications that they may use. So we are very, very grateful for the dedication that this team has brought all of us and the input that we have had. And I can tell you at the building level, at the junior high school and elementary schools, we are beyond thankful for the number of devices that we now have and are able to utilize on a daily basis. Thank you.
The third part for the technology team presentation, we'll be talking about our committee. So our committee members make up Gino Fricano, Jeff Youngberg, Aaron Stapleton representing for Findlay, Shannon Pyburn representing for Ridge Central, Amy Becker representing for Ridge Lawn, and Terry Byerwalter representing for the Smart Lab, and then myself. We formed this committee really trying to get a variety of teachers that are using education hands-on in the classroom, and also include a SMART team member so we can include some of the hands-on technology that they have as well. First step as our committee was to talk about what our real purpose was when we come together, and really it was not to make decisions just as the committee, but to get feedback from the rest of the staff, from the rest of the district, so we can use that input to make decisions on what would help the district moving forward with technology. And the main focuses were on the devices that they wanted or that would be beneficial in the classroom, and also on the professional development that they felt they would need. So our step number one was to send out a survey to the entire staff, which we did in November. We were able to survey on the devices, the programs, the needs that they have, and the professional development that they still feel they need training for. After that, the committee went over the results of the survey with the help of Single Path to review kind of next steps for what we can do moving forward. And then we discussed a timeline of how we would like to roll out the professional development. So really it was looking at what the staff felt like they still need and how can we make that applicable and acceptable and still kind of incorporate everyone's ideas and get the district on the same page moving forward with technology. We got interrupted a little bit on our timeline. We weren't able to come together for our last meeting, but we've pushed it back a little bit as a committee, and we'll come back in the fall of 2020, 2021 to discuss what professional development will really be needed moving forward in planning, especially if we're using more technology with remote learning or partial remote learning to really get our students, our parents, and our staff all on the same page.
As we enter the final stages of the district's initial strategic plan, we look forward to reflecting on the progress that has been made, as well as planning for the possibilities of the future.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to let everybody know that we really appreciate our viewers taking the time to watch the district's update on the long-range strategic plan. And while the district has been working on these goals for almost 5 years, staff and community input along the journey has been essential. We could not have done it without the community and their input. Even though we cannot meet in person, we welcome any feedback that you would like to provide.
Thank you.